guys, how's it going? I'd like to show you the latest project I'll be doing here, which is a 2014 Piaggio Typhoon 4-stroke. It has a blown motor. Looks like a jump timing, so that's trash. So I think what I'm going to be doing is converting this over to a 2-stroke motor. The other thing I have to do is, because this is a 14-inch wheel bike and there's no North American 14-inch 2-stroke cases, I'll be converting it over to 12-inch, which I have over here, set of derby wheels. So I'm going to make an adapter to get the rotor on there, and probably make some spacers and stuff to get the wheel aligned and get the speedo drive on there. So that's kind of what I think I'm going to be doing today. I'd like to get it together enough that it rolls so I can put it out back for now. So yeah, stay tuned and I'll probably at least get some wheels on it and we'll go from there. So as you can see, there's a bit of a height difference between the 14-inch and the 12-inch. And the reason why I have to switch from the 14-inch is that the 14-inch wheel won't clear the engine cases. Apparently there's a model in Europe that does have the ability to take a 14-inch wheel, the Gilera DNA, but we didn't get those in North America, and I don't have easy access to a set of cases for those. I mean, unless I come across a set cheap somehow, I'll hold on to the 14-inch wheels, and if that's the case, maybe I'll switch. But for now, I'm gonna do 12-inch because I have them. They are free, and yeah, I have engine cases for these as well. So a couple things we have to do to make this work. I may have to change the caliper or make a new bracket for the caliper. The rotor is a bit bigger for the 2014 Typhoon than these derby wheels came with. As you can see, it's a bit bigger. So option one is I might be able to just re-drill new holes in the rotor and machine the centerpiece out and just mount the rotor on there. Or I can make an adapter, which I may have to do anyway because I have to put the wheel on and get it centered in the forks and then see where the rotor is going to want to be. So I'm either going to have to make a spacer probably to space the caliper out or space the rotor off the hub, one of the two. Or it could just work, but I kind of am doubtful. It definitely, this wheel, the hub width is a little bit wider than this one, so there's going to be a little bit of fussing around to get this to go. So problem number one to solve is, this is the bearing out of the derby wheels. They use looks like a 10mm axle, and this is the axle out of the Typhoon. No go. So I'm going to take the bearings out of the Typhoon wheel and see if they'll fit into the derby. So knocked the bearing out of both sides of the Typhoon wheel, and it's not a fit. This uses two different size bearings. There's a bigger one on the disc side and then a smaller one on the non-disc side. So yeah, neither of those will work, but it does look like the spacer tube is the correct length. So what I'm going to do is quickly hop on Google and see if there is a bearing available that has the right OD for this with the correct ID, and see if, or maybe I even have one here. So yeah, I'll just take a quick hop on there and see if I can find something. So there isn't a readily available bearing that's going to do what I want. 15 by 37 by 12mm wide. So option one is get the next size up bearing, which is a 15 by 15 by 12 by 42, and bore this out, which would probably make it pretty thin, so I'm not super keen on that. Or option 2 is sleeve this bore and make it so that it accepts this bearing, which is probably what I'm going to do. So I found this piece of aluminum. I'm going to make a sleeve, turn, bore, and then make it heat shrink fit. So it's going to be, this is going to be frozen, that's going to be warmed up, they're going to be put together, and the interference on both of those is going to make it so that it probably will never come out again. So that's what we're going to accomplish today, I think. So I need to make a sleeve, 13 millimeters long, 37 millimeter OD plus probably 4 thou, and the ID will be oversized slightly so that when I shrink it in, it'll become a press fit on the inside. Just have some Loctite retaining compound. The sleeve is a press fit into the bore on this and is a loose fit currently on the bearing, but when I crush this in, it'll get tight on the bearing. Hopefully, if I did my math right. Also, there's a nice lead-in chamfer on the edge I'm pushing in. So there's the sleeve installed. Bearing is now an interference or a press fit, which is what I was going for. So that should work. So this got a little bit more involved than I was expecting. As you can see, I'm going to have to bore out the hub as well on this side. The bearing doesn't fit. I thought it did, but I was just pushing it in on this shoulder here. So I'm actually going to need to bore this back. So So we're going to set that up and do that as well. Now bored out to a light press fit for this bearing. So that's pretty much it for that. I can put the wheel together, but I think I'm going to strip the paint. So I think next video, I'll probably have these stripped, and we'll do some assembly and show yeah, how I'm going to do the rotor and get the spacing correct for that. So until then, take care.